I've been at my church 30 odd years and have done pretty much every job there is to do there at one point or another. And I've had an eclectic career. I think we can get really distracted from paying attention to who God made us and what it is that He wants us to do and pushing into that, because it can be scary or because we get distracted or whatever. I think it's grown my faith because, yeah, like I said, it's like, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like to be walking with God and being His hands and feet in the world and doing a God-sized thing, not just a Susy-sized thing. I feel like I've done enough Susy-sized things. I haven't got the time or energy for that anymore. I only want to do a God-sized thing now. And yeah, I imagine if all Christians could do that and feel that. Imagine what God could do. I had a sense that I wanted to create something new, that there was an area of ministry, a new resource that was necessary, that didn't exist yet. And I had trouble finding people that wanted to go on that journey with me, who didn't just think, oh, that's a nice idea. And I guess I wanted someone to believe in me but also walk beside me. At that point I didn't have a lot of confidence that I could pull it off by myself, I guess. And the very first weekend away that we had literally changed my life, because at that point I didn't know what I didn't know. And what I gradually came to see was I wasn't just odd and not fitting in and critical of the church and wondering why things weren't happening. I was an entrepreneur. I was someone who had ideas, and I suddenly was amongst a bunch of people who were like that as well. We all wanted to do kingdom work. We all had this fire in our belly, and we were being told, this is good, this is God, who God made you to be, and this is something that the church needs, so here, let's help you go for it. It's like, it was the biggest relief, I can't tell you. But probably the most helpful thing was having a coach that I could talk to all the way through, who knew me and cared about me, listened to me, took me seriously, challenged me and encouraged me, in an ongoing way. That was really gold, and we don't get a lot of that. I want to be the best person I can be, and it's quite hard to find somebody that will care enough about you to challenge you, to say, but what about this, and oh, maybe that's not right. It's actually hard to get that kind of quality feedback. 10 or 20 years ago, if you ask kids what was the one thing they wanted in life, it was they wanted good friends and good community, and way down the list was money and fame. And that today, that's totally shifted around. That if you ask kids now, number one is fame and social media, obviously, right? Number two is rich, and then way down the list is friendship. But we know that no matter what you do in life, it's your relationships, the quality of your relationships, that will determine how happy you are in life. And so what I would like is for there to be a movement of understanding amongst parents that raising kids who care about themselves and about others and their relationships, and ultimately who care about and believe that they can contribute to the world, I think that actually will bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. Like, to me, that is kingdom living. And that's what I'm after, to the point where I wrote a book. It's called Raising Kids Who Care. The program that I started with Seed is now called the Justice Games. It's resources that will help churches reach out to families in their area. When kids are in primary school, you know more people than any other time in your life, and give families an opportunity to think about what's our purpose in life, how can we contribute to the world, how can we discover what causes we care about and do something about that. So I'm working hard to promote the book. I've sold 1,000 copies in the first 3 months, which I'm told by people in the publishing industry is quite extraordinary. And so I feel like, oh, maybe God is in this. And I'm still working on the Justice Games, and hopefully COVID lightening up will let that happen a bit more. But now what I'm doing is working on the steps between, because they're kind of, the book is for families to work on at home by themselves. The Justice Games is for big events of all families to come together. But then there are stepping stones. So I'm looking at maybe a video course or different ways that you could access the material in the book. And yeah, having fun working out what those things are. I'm so energized every morning by I've been in lockdown for months. I've been an extrovert stuck at home, but I get out of bed every morning feeling like I've got some really important work to do. At the moment, nobody's paying me, nobody's demanding that I do it, but I feel fulfilled. I feel like I'm finally at this point in my career, I'm at a place where I am being uniquely me. I'm using all the gifts that God's given me and all the experience that I've had, and it feels like it's all being funneled into this one idea. And honestly, I don't know where it will go or how successful I'll be at creating this new change, but it feels right for me. And I know there are, some nights I wake in the middle of the night like, oh, what am I doing? And the pressure to earn money in this world is very real. But those waking in the nights are the times when I lean into God and ask for help. And maybe that week I've tried, knocked on lots of doors and they haven't opened. But honestly, it's getting ridiculous how many times I remember to pray and the next day someone out of the blue rings me up and opens the door. And it gives me goosebumps. This is how we're supposed to live as Christians, led and empowered and energized by the Spirit. And I'm so grateful that I'm getting to do that. I think what Seed has given me is the understanding that God has more for us than that. That He actually really does have a purpose for us, that He is willing to let us join in on His kingdom work. But He wants that to be a life-giving thing, not just the church needs a treasurer, so I'll squash myself and just dutifully do it. And we're good at duty, but that I will keep finding what is the thing that God has planted inside me that will not only give me purpose and make me useful to God and useful to the people around me, but that will fulfill me as well. And so I feel like everything that I've done as a Christian and in my career has come to this one point where I am actually doing God's work for His purpose, and I'm energized each morning. I get out of bed because I really want to work on this. Not because someone's paying for me, not because I have to, but because I have this overwhelming, joyful desire in me to make this world a better place. And that is such a gift, and I'm so grateful to Seed for giving me permission and for fanning that joy into flame. And maybe there are many other ways I could have come to that, but I'm so grateful to have come to a place where my entrepreneurial desires and my faith have been able to walk hand in hand. It's a wonderful, precious gift, and I really would encourage other people who feel a little bit out of sorts with the structure of church, or keep having wild ideas that everyone else shoots down, or feel like there's something else that they could do, I really encourage you to find a bunch of people that will encourage you in that. And I found Seed to be that bunch of people.